winning experimental awards, innovation awards, audio awards, design awards, and everything. In this game, it was up against Battlefield 3 and World of Warcraft and games like that, Minecraft. But it won innovation because they tried to do something new. And this is a game from this year that also went to a lot of award shows and a lot of exhibitions in different places. And I think I could keep continuing showing different games here. Because every year we have some games doing something new. But I think it's quite obvious that game jams are about making games. But they are about so much more than making games. They are about the community of the developers. And they are about experimenting. And they are about learning. And they are about new talents and new teams. And this is a picture of the IT University of Copenhagen where we run the Nordic Game Jam. It looks quite similar to this place actually. First of all, the community. The interesting things about game jams is that everybody's there or have been there or at some point will be at a game jam. All the game developers in Copenhagen know about the Nordic Game Jam and will be there at some point. So everybody knows everybody. Just the value of one developer knowing all the other developers in the city, that's a huge value when we want to create something new, we want to start something new, we want to collaborate on something new. And then it's about experimenting. When you have 40 hours, it's not a lot of time to make a whole game. It's really not a lot of time, especially not if you also want to sleep, because it's only one weekend. But on the other hand, you don't have that much to lose. You're not spending a huge budget, paying salaries, or doing anything. You're only spending 40 hours of your life. So you can try and invest those 40 hours in something completely new. You can try out to see how many move controllers you can connect hanging down from the ceiling and make a Tarzan swinging game. You can try and make a new best game about fluids or whatever. But you will probably not be able to make you will not be able to make the new World of Warcraft or Battlefield. But you can try and do something new because you only have 48 hours to lose. That means that every year we see people doing something completely new, breaking all the rules, just making something completely new, inspired and creative at game jams. And also, it's about learning because, again, 40 hours is not a lot of time. And you can, worst case, if you try and do something new, then you spend 40 hours. So maybe you want to take up that new technology that you might not have the time to do in your company. You want to play with the move controllers, or you want to make a game with the Microsoft Kinect. And the Kinect is probably, if you have a company, it's a huge process to start developing a Kinect game. It requires licensing, everything, training and all sort of things. But for 40 hours, you can probably get something working and make some Kinect game where you can dance around with an act stupid in front of your Kinect. And that might be really fun. And if it is fun, then you have a prototype, you can show it, you can take it further, and you can show it to investors, you can show it to Microsoft, and so on. You only wasted 40 hours. You might fail spectacularly, but then it's only 48 hours. So it's definitely a place to try something new. At the Nordic Game Jam, we try to inspire people to use new technology or modify old technology. We also have the one laptop per child computer running games and doing all sorts of new things. And at last, but not definitely not least, it's about new teams and new talents. But as I said, everybody will be there. The whole community, the students, the developers, the senior developers, the professional, the CEO, the CTO, everybody will have been at Nordic Game Jam at some point. So when you go to Nordic Game Jam, you usually don't go with a group of students, sit down and make a game. You go there with an open mind, you meet new people, and you make games with new people. That means you form teams, you walk around, you meet the developers of the students, meet the developers meet the students. So all the developers will know the students and make games with them. This is I think this book is from 2008, where we gathered and people walking around making with each other. And right here on the corner down here below, That is David Halverson, CEO of Unity, with Galicia, participating in the Nordic Game Jam, along with all the students and everybody else. Everybody's there, and everybody's making games on the same terms. I'm just gonna, first I'm gonna talk a little about the Danish game development community. Copenhagen is a small city with barely 2 million people. But the gaming industry is we have quite a gaming industry in the whole Scandinavia. And a really cool thing is that all students that are graduating, for example, students graduating from the IT university, most students will have made a game with a senior developer or CTO or somebody from one of the big companies or one of the small startups. That means like just the value of actually knowing people in the industry, not just knowing them, but having a game that you make together, spend 48 hours being creative, you get to know people. It's also a place that if you want to collaborate with new people, you want to start something new, make a collaboration, anything, then you can work for 48 hours, make something new, and then you can further develop on it. The games I showed earlier, they are all making it into commercial products, and more games are, and sometimes they're not, but the team is. So even though that you fail at the game jam, you still met new people, students, professionals, business people, investors, whatever, and you can form something new, create startups, and do things. One of those things that came from this is the Copenhagen Game Collective. It's a community of basically game jams in Copenhagen, where we make crazy games, really weird games, and go to exhibitions all over the world showcasing those games. They're winning awards and everything. And this is something started just by meeting other game games, spending 48 hours to try and create something new, and we succeeded. And right now we're running the jury of the Nordic Game Indie Night, awarding the new people, and most of the games there that we see that people submit are from game jams all over Scandinavia, or things that started at a game jam and was taken further. And the next thing is that Egypt and Cairo is a far bigger place than Copenhagen. And there's no reason that you cannot have a game jam and have the same gaming community and the same creativity between everybody. Just imagine that if everybody who graduated here already had made a game with somebody in the industry. At Nordic Game Jam, it might be local Copenhagen, but it's not only the developers of Copenhagen. You have developers from all over Scandinavia coming there. I've met the people making Angry Birds at game jams. Together with people with game jams. The people who make Minecraft, they participate in our game jam. Everybody goes to those game jams. Everybody wants to spend 40 hours to create something new. And the same thing could happen here. And not only in Cairo, but it will definitely attract people from outside. And it's not only professionals, it's hobby developers, it's actually professionals from all the other industries not making games. Everybody wants to make a game or create something new. And my experience is that people will join. We have a lot of new people coming from, not from the gaming industry, but from web development, application development, all sort of other IT industries, joining at the game jams to create something new. And I'm sure that we can make it right here. And I think, yes. And this is me, and you're very welcome to email me or contact me on any of those websites. The Nordic Game Jam and Exile are the two largest game jams in Denmark that I'm running with some other people, of course. And then we have ITI, the International Game Developers Association of Denmark, and the Copenhagen Game Collective.
Thank you.